berm restraint system.
Next, Mo!
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
The Savachi syndrome, I'm telling you, I'm...
You're like, well, holy shit, that was crazy.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show. Houston wrap-up here.
Second round is over with.
Second round's done. Great race, great night, decent track.
Can we say that might have been one of the craziest nights we've had in a long time?
That was pretty wild, man. That was pretty wild. So before we get into all of that, let's cover the paperwork side. So we got the Moto Aftermath Show presented by TLR Coatings. If you're in the Michigan, Northern Indiana, Northern Illinois, Northern Ohio area, look them up. All your powder coating needs. Lots of custom work coming out of there, so that's great. Also, if you want to help support us, well, let's not do the support yet. Let's go follow us on Facebook. Good old Man Bear here wrote a nice blog post this week about questions and more questions and answers on A1 race. So check that out on Facebook. Follow us there so you get all the latest updates, because I'm going to be at Anaheim 2 next week.
And then Glendale.
And then Glendale the week after.
Or is it Phoenix? Is it Phoenix or is it Glendale?
I don't know.
I think it's Phoenix.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I think so. I
don't
Glendale
know
anymore.
I'm going to be in Arizona for the race.
In that vicinity,
that state, there's a race. I'll be there.
Try not to go to Mexico.
Yeah, so make sure you follow us on Facebook. I'll put some updates on there. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, at Travis Ridenauer, because I will be posting lots and lots of pictures from all the races on there. If you want to help us out, Amazon links down below. You click those, buy something, we get a small cut of it. Helps us out, so you can do that. There's a Patreon, which you can go on and donate to us on there. That'll help us out. If you donate enough, I'll come up with something cool. I'll send it to you. Maybe I'll send you Stubbs' shirt.
Donate 10 cents, that's all.
Or 50 bucks, and you can get the shirt that he's wearing literally right off his back.
What? No.
Literally right off his back.
Nobody
I'll
wants that.
take it off of him, and I will put it in a box and ship it out.
No.
Anywho, what else am I missing here? Oh, you can buy t-shirts on Teespring. Link will be in the description down below. That'll help support us, because, yeah, we're trying to go to MX Nations here at Redbud.
It's going to be great.
Well, let's correct the statement. We're going to MX Nations at Redbud, whether you guys donate anything or not. So, I mean, if you help us out, it's great. If not, well, whatever. But, yeah, so, anything else I forgot? I need to write this down.
You were for a while.
Writing it down?
Yeah, you
what
had,
I needed to cover?
Yeah, I had a little checkpoints.
I just got race notes.
That's cool.
But anyway, I think that's all the boring, mundane paperwork. Or if you own a company you want to sponsor us, just, send me an email or, message on Facebook or something.
That'd be great, too.
We always, dude, I've put a poster up with your company logo on it, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Kind of running out of room, so, I mean,
we can switch stuff out.
It's cool.
We can switch stuff out. Anyway, so let's talk track from last night. I thought the setup of it was interesting.
I loved it, man.
Going back and forth, the really long straightaways, I thought it was a little old school, but I did like it.
I loved it, because aren't we always complaining how the tracks are just too tamed down? The four-strokes are so good, there's so much traction, there's so much torque, the chassis are so good, and we're always complaining. Oh, you can, light it up coming out of a corner, double clutch it, stretch it, and they can do anything. Even on the 250Fs, we had variation. I think that too many people think we have to have a gnarly track to really separate guys. Like, oh, we have to have this gnarly section where you go quad, 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 or 3, 4, 3, or whatever. Where last night it proved, all you got to do is just set the transitions up differently. Huge transitions, our guys worried about braking too early, braking too late. Transitions roll into the whoops. Hey, if I brake too early, I can set up and rhythm through, or if I just kind of engine brake, I can float across the top. That's all you really got to do. I mean, you saw it. The section when you come across a start, you could either go double, on, off, double, or single, wheel tap, 3, 2.
Yep.
The sand section, I'm not a big fan of sand sections in Supercross. I think it's kind of stupid.
But I thought that was a decent sand section as far as there were a couple different lines in it, and it was set far enough off that it didn't really carry sand into different sections that then screwed those sections up. So I thought that was okay. And then there was, after the first set of whoops, there was that quad, or was that the section before the whoops?
That was the section, the on-off sections. That was before the first set of whoops when you came across.
There was the quad in that, and then there was the 222 or the 231 or whatever on the next section after the whoops. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I did like that little dragon's back thing after the triple, where he went in front of the gates, which was a super easy whatever. You know, it wasn't a hard obstacle, but everybody was doing it differently and having different troubles with it. Like, how many guys did we see almost loop out?
Well, by the end of the night, you can't even really say it was a dragon's back at some point. It started off that way, and by the end of the night, since everybody was staying right, you either had Kenny where he was going single, bouncing in the face, and then preloading over, or you had Ando who was doubling and launching off. But what I really liked about that is that you had enough of a transition where you could actually square off into the sand section instead of fading too far in, where if it was super narrow that would happen, where you could set up to pivot in on the inside and then just kind of fade out and get a little bit better drive. The only thing that I will say I didn't like about the sand section, and I like how they try to make little, you know, man-made rollers, but we all know with sand and Supercross, those get blown out anyway.
Yep.
It wasn't a true sweeper, where at the apex, where what would have been the apex, it kind of had a hitch in it, so it flattened out, so if you were kind of tracking to the outside, you were going to go off. So everybody started pivoting real hard, and then you got that nasty hook by the 450 main. I think that if they were going to make it a true sweeper, and I don't know if that was their end goal, and maybe they just wanted to have it like that, they kind of needed to expand it a little bit wider, but I don't know if they could because I know they had the podium there. It made, you could see that. If you're going to be on the outside, AC was the first one to really start doing the heat race. He got to what would have been that hitch, and then he just started hooking real hard. That's the only thing I didn't like because then it shifted the rollers in, and then they got flattened out. Small stuff, but honestly to me, best track we've seen in a long time because it had different variation.
Yep.
And I love that you had a long run rolling into the whoops, so you didn't have guys just kind of banging through. Like, they literally had to set up for it. Am I going to rhythm through and preload? Am I going to stretch it out?
Yep.
Because as flat as they were, if you came in wide open, you were going to skip across, and you were going to drop the front end. So I thought it was one of the best tracks we had in a while. It just got to the point that it was survival mode.
Yeah, it was, because like we just talked about or watching the race, it was soft clay. It got really square-edged, but the ruts were really deep. It was a little funky, but...
Now, had they not had the weather down in Texas that they've been having the last couple months, I think it would end up being typical Houston, and it would have turned to hard pack.
Yes, I think so too.
So all that rain and then, you know, the snow that they've gotten a little bit down there, I think that,
weather,
yeah, that definitely, it brought a lot of moisture in there and stuff. But all in all, I like it because usually we come on the show and I say I hate the tracks.
Yeah.
Because they're the same by the end of the night.
But that one, yeah, like you said, it was good. It was different, and it had separation areas, and not gnarly separation areas, not like, oh, you know, the privateer guys aren't going to huck this quad, aren't going to get it, and everybody else is. There was lots of different options, so.
It was good. I liked it.
Yep. So anything else with the track before we move on?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about 250s.
All right.
All right, 250s. So I made some notes about the race last night.
Yeah, I see that. It's great. It's good.
Dude, that's why I got out of the pit board, bro. Nobody takes it to the races, so I might as well use it for something. So first off, top 5 here. We had Craig 5th, McElrath was 4th, Sexton 3rd, Savacci 2nd, AP Plessinger won the race.
Decimated.
Some notes I had from the night. Oldenburg's heat race. He's impressive to me this year.
Yes, he is.
More so than years past. I don't know why all of a sudden he's on the... I guess it's because he's battling up front, but...
I think it's because he's been hurt pretty much since his rookie year, and that's why it's not noticeable.
That would make sense. But I thought he was real impressive in the heat race. The only thing I wasn't really impressed with, and we talked about this a little bit before we started recording, was how he let McElrath pass him the same way in the same corner twice.
He's got to anticipate and have better racecraft than that. He really needed to, knowing that McElrath had done that to him 2 laps before, as soon as he hit the backside of the landing, he should have checked up and squared underneath him. Like, you can't... I know it's only the heat race and it doesn't really mean anything other than gate pick, like 2 positions less, but you gotta anticipate that because you know that's going to happen in a bull corner like that. That's the only option if you're on the outside. You're going to get run it in deep. But that's why, man, when we talked about at the preview show for the season, talking about like where we thought some guys would project with their new rides, I have faith in the kid. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to put it together all the way for a win. Like, you would think that he could get a win, But every time he's been super close, he's just one small little tick off.
Yeah,
it's cost him.
Yep.
So, but he's gonna be up there. I think he's gonna be battling for podiums eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. How many years has he been in the class? 3, 4?
I think this is his 3rd year.
So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe not this year, but next year if we see him definitely as a podium dude most of the year. So, all right, let's talk about Hill.
That bike sucks. Bike's terrible.
The bike's terrible, and God, is this a situation of he doesn't want it?
I think he wants it. I just still think that we keep going back to this, and I always allude to this, that he wants to ride the 450. He doesn't want to ride the 250F. Everybody's like, oh, you have the chance to defend your title. Well, it doesn't matter. He won one. Like, defending the title is not really a big deal that everybody thinks it is in the 250 class, at least Supercross. Like, it's not like it got him more money just to go defend his title.
That's going to be a big deal to Osborne.
Oh, it's going to be a big deal to Osborne for sure, because Zacho has struggled a lot longer than Hill has. Obviously, he's older and he's been doing it longer, but Zacho didn't come right in and have instant success. Hill came in his rookie year and did pretty damn good right off the bat, where this has been building with Zacho for 10 years. And I think it just means a lot more to him. Not saying that Hill doesn't, because Hill's one of the hardest workers in the class when it comes to Supercross. I just think that bike's, it's not there. It has no hit off the bottom. Whatever his issue with is not being comfortable with pushing the whoops. Like, they got to get that figured out, because he's not going to win this championship now. Like, there's no way.
No.
And I go so far as to say is if this keeps happening, I don't know if we even get a top 5 by the end of the year. But it's not him. It's the bike, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of the two. I think the bike isn't working the way he wants it to. He's not comfortable with it, and he, like you said, he doesn't want to ride the 250. He wants to ride the 450. So the fact he doesn't want to be there doing what he's doing right now, he wants to be at the next level, is just, it's a recipe for disaster. And the thing is like,
especially going outdoors. I know that's a long ways away, but we know Hill's deficiency outdoors. If it's this bad in Supercross where he's good, dude, I can only imagine what it's going to be like come outdoors.
Oh yeah. Yep. So okay, so let's move on to the pro circuit, guys, here. So, best part of the night is the heat race when Sabachi is coming up the inside of
Oldenburg and McKellar.
Oldenburg, yep, and McKellar and tucks the front end. And the first thing I send you is Sabachi syndrome. Then we get in the main, and AC starts tipping over.
Especially when he tracked out coming out of the left-hander and he looped it.
That was weird.
Yeah, like Emmett said, he had to go back and look at it, but plain and simple, dude, his weight shifted too hard and he loaded up and it hooked and his weight was stiffened. It was pushing away from him and he couldn't grip the bike and it just looped it. Like, there's no, he looped it, like, straight and simple. There was no, he got loose and he looped it, plain and simple, and I think it hooked harder than he thought. But, man, this is what I keep talking about with AC. I pegged him. If Hill was going to have his problems, we all talked about it in our group chat leading up to this. We thought AC was going to be the guy to beat. And this was before, for me at least, I knew that Sabachi was going to go West Coast. I thought AC was going to dominate. I thought he was going to bring it into outdoors. He finally got through a year clean last year. But he continues to make the same mistakes mentally.
Same thing. Yep.
Dude, what happened at Washougal when he had a chance to win his first overall?
Maybe it's a Kawasaki thing, because Eli has the same problem.
Dude, it pains me because AC has been working his butt off. He's fitter than ever. You know, everybody says that, but he really is. I mean, we've seen his Instagram posts when he's been in the weight room. He's fitter than ever. You know, his deal with Kenny, you know, them training together has got him well, you would think it's got him mentally right. He looks better on the bike than ever speed-wise. And then he goes out there and he just, for lack of better terms, has a brain fart. And you're like, what is wrong, dude?
Yep.
Like we saw it in outdoors every time. What'd he do? Last lap in time practice? No, last lap in time practice. He'd be faster than everybody, and then he'd go to the race, and then, he'd do something stupid.
Tip over.
He'd tip over. And like I said, it wasn't even hard crashes, just small little mental stuff. Tuck the front end, push it in the corner too deep, blow the corner. And, man, I know it's only the second race, but if he does this, you know, third, fourth round, I'm going to start to believe, is he ever going to win a 250 title?
I don't know, man.
I'm really worried about it because this cannot keep happening.
No, it's He's got to figure it out, man, because otherwise that's what's going to keep him from a title. He's got the speed to do it.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what's going to really, that's it. And now Savatgy, I thought Savatgy was quietly good last night.
There was no stopping that Plessinger train.
No. Savatgy had no chance of winning that race whatsoever.
No.
And, you know, we'll just move right on. Plessinger, holy shit.
Well, what did we talk about at the end of the A1 show?
He's got
If he puts
it together,
section to section, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's not getting ahead of himself. Maybe, you know, the old cliche saying, you know, live in the moment. While on a Supercross track, especially and stuff, you got to be already thinking, hey, this line's going to take me through this section unless somebody gets loose, and then you have to adapt and adjust. You already got to know what line I'm going to take before even that section, because then things start coming way too fast if you're trying to figure out it literally section to section. But I think with AP, he needs to look ahead and know what his line's going to be before he hits there, but he literally has to stay in the moment a little bit consciously and realize that, hey, don't get too far ahead of myself. Like, for instance, like if he was coming over to the finish, AP, just to give an example, okay, I'm already thinking about the triple. Well, AP needs to think about the triple. Hey, I'm going to do it, but now I need to worry about, okay, hit my braking points into the corner and then the triple. Don't think about the triple right as he comes off the landing. Think about hitting the landing, hit my marks, and then triple, and then so on and so forth. And like I said to you before we came on, if he puts this together, he's dangerous.
Yep.
Because
we saw it last night.
Because look,
we saw it last night.
Because would you say that when AP is on, he might be the fastest guy in the 250 class?
Yeah, could be pretty close, man.
Because we've seen what he did a couple times outdoors when he was killing it. Like, he was gone. What was it? The first race at Washougal, or the first Moto Washougal, right?
Yeah.
Like, he was out by like 30 seconds or something. Fucking Osborne, excuse me, didn't even do that all year. I'm trying to watch my swearing, guys. We're trying to
tone it down.
Yeah, we're trying to tone it down. But I just, man, if he can put it together, the class is in trouble.
Yep, they are. So
especially that section, the single.
Yeah, that wheel
nice.
Tap after the sand section when they came around there.
Yep.
That first section was wheel tap and then like triple and double, and it was just insane. And then I guess the one honorable mention for the night. Chase Sexton picks up his first podium in his second race ever.
Didn't break his femur yet.
Didn't break his femur yet in Supercross. That kid, I think, is going to be quietly sneaky good here for this year. And you're going to get to the end of the year, and you're going to have like seen him in the results and go, okay, cool. And he's going to have nights like he did last week where he was like 8th.
Yep.
I think. But then he's going to have nights like he did last night where he's 2nd, 3rd, you know, up on the box. And all of a sudden you're going to go, wait, he's like 3rd or 4th in points? Like, what? So
he's that good. Like,
yeah.
Well, when we were talking about him before he went pro, everybody compared him to Faulkner, and man, the kid's just smooth.
Yep.
He's just smooth.
Yep. And I think a lot of the confidence he's gaining is like last week he was battling with Hill. So you're battling with the defending champ.
Yep.
That's good. So
what about McElrath though? I know that there's not much to say, but was it kind of surprising that he got dropped like he did?
Yes, it was very surprising. We all, I think, as a collective in the industry, thought he was going to be better last night than he was. Now, maybe it was just the way the track was, because it wasn't your typical West Coast track that he likes, where it's hard.
Maybe he goes to A2 this weekend and wins. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I'll be interested to see. I'll watch him closely in practice and see. But, yeah, it was a little bit of a shock. So, anything else you want to talk about 250s here?
Just individual winners, because we got the first Triple Crown race coming this weekend.
Yes.
We're gonna do the same thing with the 450. Who we think's gonna win each main? Who do you think wins the mains this weekend?
AC, Savatgy, Plessinger.
In that order from short to long?
Yes.
I agree with the second and third one, and I think the AP will ultimately, however they're gonna do this, have the most points to get the overall. I don't think AC wins the first one. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think if Sexton rips a holy, I think Sexton wins it. It's 6+1.
Yeah.
And if he rides like that, but granted, Sexton has proved that he comes on strong later at the main. But I'm going to go Sexton, Savatgy, AP, with AP ultimately getting the overall. Okay. Because I don't think when he rides like that, anybody can beat him on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because we said that, like, AC and Savatgy and Hill and all those guys were going to be faster than him.
Yep. So, all right, cool. That wraps up 250, so let's move on to the big class here. All right, 450 talk.
Let's just get it out of the way. Let's just talk about the two glaring things that we.
Okay, so first off,
Eli Tomac. Had a shoulder issue.
Actually had a shoulder issue, which is a little bit of a surprise to me because there was, I'm not gonna lie, we had talked in our group chat. I was slightly convinced he just threw a tantrum at A1 and was like, I'm done, I'm not racing anymore tonight, I can't handle this, this is bullcrap.
I think most people did. Come to find out.
And then now last night, he doesn't race.
So, begs the question, and somebody brought it up last night, and I can't remember who it was, but if he misses this weekend, does he just go get surgery and say screw it and just miss Supercross? Since he literally has no shot, just now has no shot at it. Because they said it's day to day, but that interview that he gave was not confidence inspiring.
No, not confidently day to day. It was
so.
It's day to day.
Does that? Do you think that if they say, "Hey, you're not going to ride this weekend," if he try, because I imagine it's Sunday now, day after the race. If he tries to go ride tomorrow and it hurts and he can't ride, that pretty much is going to tell you he ain't riding this week or this coming weekend for A2. Do you think he just goes and gets whatever did to it cleaned up and just says screw it and just skips Supercross? Because I can't see Tomac, even if he wants to try to go out and be like, hey, I'm going to win races, kind of like a stewardess thing and prove I was better than you guys. But I can't see him really going out there and laying it out on the line and having no shot at the championship. Because he's still going to get paid either way.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, and just clean it up and get ready to defend the outdoor title, I guess.
Because, man, I can't see Eli, knowing that he has no shot at the title, just going out there and laying it on the line, trying to win for no reason. Because he's not going to win championship. It's not going to happen now. It's done. Like, people said, oh, he did what he did last year. Well, that was knowing that he was going to ride Houston. Well, now that he didn't ride Houston, he's 49 points back, people.
Yeah.
He has no shot.
He's way off.
There's no way.
Way off the reservation here.
What do you think the chances of that happening? Because I started after I seen that last night, and I go, you know,
it depends if he rides next week. I think if it's okay and he rides Anaheim, I think then he won't do anything. He'll just deal with it all year. I think if it's sore and he can't ride Anaheim, I think then we probably won't see him most of the rest of the year until we get to outdoors.
Because I thought about that after I seen that, and I go, you know what? That's a pretty valid point. Because what would be the point, honestly?
Yeah.
Because he's gonna get paid either way.
Yeah, and there isn't really a point to do it. I mean, what do you want him to do out there and struggle around and not really be able to ride? Like, So yeah, and then the other big glaring thing from last night. What's that dude's name on YouTube? Jay Ryder?
Jay Ryder.
Jay Ryder.
You've been talking a lot of smack, bro.
How about your boy Marv there?
What happened, man?
Huh. Yeah, looks like
Guess he can't ride whoops.
A little issue in the whoops there, which sucks, because I like Marv.
So do I.
I do like Marv a
really
lot,
like
as much as I don't like him, you know, as I root for other people to win the title, because there's other people I like better. Yeah, or when he's interviewing, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, there is a video floating around out there. Somebody did a voiceover of him on the podium from A1.
Find it.
Go look it up. It's hilarious. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, we can't really say the things that we said on it.
Go look it up. Anyway, yeah, so I feel bad. Like, okay, I was thinking about this last night. If Marv crashes a couple times in the main, ends up finishing like 20th because the bike's bent up, but he's not hurt, I'm cool with that. You have some stuff happen like last night where he crashes, pops his shoulder out, can't ride. Man, that sucks. Because, you know, we've obviously been riders. You obviously can't even ride anymore. I've hurt myself before where I can't ride, and it sucks. And I don't want to see that.
No, you don't ever want to see somebody get hurt.
But, you know, if he wrecked the bike up and couldn't finish the race because of that, that's fine. Now, I'm okay with that. At that point, I'm cheering. But this sucks. But it definitely makes things really interesting now.
Well, I don't know if you've seen also, and keep in mind, this show will go up. This will be Tuesday when you see this guy, so this is the day after the race. A thing went out this morning, and they're saying the same thing that they said for Eli. He's day to day right now. They don't know if he will ride this weekend.
That doesn't. Did you notice his arm? Like when he was like,
oh, it was bad.
It was like way out of place.
Yeah,
you could see it on TV. I was like, ooh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Obviously, for Marv, it's a different situation compared to him and Eli. If he misses this race, and whatever is wrong with it, because anybody that doesn't have shoulder issues, I don't have per se a shoulder issue, but I have rotator cuff issue. If you pop your shoulder out, it's not. People think, oh, pop it back in. It's not a big deal. Look what happened to AC his rookie year when he tried to ride. That's just not something that goes away. Like, you get to the point, if you've done enough times, it's bad enough, it will continue to pop out. And if he's going to probably do the same thing as Eli. He's taking a day off. Probably try to ride maybe Monday or Tuesday, but mostly not do any weightlifting, do cardio this week. And if it's an issue and he misses this weekend, big question is He's still going to come back and race if it's unless it's way worse than we thought.
Yeah.
What do we think he does for the rest of the year? Because I don't see him racing A2. I don't see him racing it.
I'm highly skeptical that he's going to. But if he doesn't, and what does he do the rest of the...
I think he struggles.
I think so too. I think it depends how bad it is.
And let's be real, Marv is not a very tone-thick dude, so
No.
it's not like he's got a lot to work with. Like, if he has muscle issues, like...
Yeah, if he hyperextended something in there, yeah, this could be bad. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll have a better understanding after next weekend.
It sucks. It sucks because you have two of the top guys that everybody pegged to be the two title main guys because nobody knew what was going to happen with Kenny. But, man, it shows you. Like, even when you're in the best of the world, one small mistake, dude, it comes up and bites you.
Yep. And now we're going to really have a different guy because, yep. So, anyway, let's talk about last night. So, Pike, 5th place, another solid ride. I mean, top 3 start, just up there battling. Like I said, whatever he did, I want his training program so that I can ride better because I'm like he was in the privateer days, like barely making it through, and now like he's up. So yeah, so I want that. I want that a lot. But impressive.
Well, I know it's only 2 races, but does this change your mind on the whole thing that him and Bogle are in the same category now? Because remember when we had this conversation, I know it's only 2 races, but Bogle never did 2 top 5s in a row, and Pike is now finally once again getting the start. I think that if he does this again this weekend, which I see it happening, especially with the 3 mains, man.
Yeah, but Pike's a lot more seasoned in the 450 class.
He's a lot more seasoned, but I don't think Bogle is in that group because I don't see Bogle ever doing top 5s back-to-back. I think that Bogle is a one-race wonder and then struggles. And then...
I didn't ever see Bogle winning an outdoor race either.
No, that's true.
Especially beating Eli, and he did. So, I don't know, man. We'll see when Bogle comes back. I'm not going to compare the 2 right now because, I mean, really, we haven't seen much out of Bogle since last year.
Well, Bogle's got to stay healthy and stop hitting them around.
Yeah, that's true. So, Cole Seeley last night, I thought he rode really, really well all night. He really likes Houston. Obviously, he won there the last time we were there in 2015. Yep. I thought he rode well, but I think what ended up happening was it was confidence in the bike in the arena, and then the track came around.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
And that's not Cole's style track.
No,
he doesn't do well in the ruts and everything. And so I think, like we talked about with the track, had it not rained so much, had the track not been so soft, he would have done better. He
probably, if it would have been a normal Houston and hard pack, he probably could have got second.
Yeah.
Probably would have got second. But yeah, when it starts getting ruddy and soft, Cole's all about being smooth. He doesn't ride with his lower body. So in the ruts and stuff, with the bike pitching side to side, grabbing sidewalls, you got to be able to maneuver your body with the bike. And he doesn't do that. He basically, the bike goes one way and his lower body goes with it, and he tries to adapt with his upper body. So I think that he rode good. I think that this is going to continue to move forward. And I can see him, before we go to the East Coast, getting a podium. I mean, he was close last night. He was good. Yeah. It definitely, though, it's just crazy to see that he's in 4th in the points because I don't think a lot of people thought that after 2 rounds he'd be 4th in the points. I think a lot of people thought he'd be like 8th, 9th, maybe 10th. I don't know, man. I like it because I really like Cole. Not just being a hunting, I really like Cole. I like his style. He's awesome to watch ride. It's funny because the season so far, even though it's 2 races, is not going any way we thought it was going to go.
Absolutely not. No. What did you say earlier? If somebody would have told us 3 weeks ago that Ando would be leading the points, Kenny and Barsha would be tied for 2nd, and and Eli and Marv would be out, we would have told them you were high.
Yeah,
like
there's no way.
There's no way. No. So the whole season's kind of like blowing minds. So so before we start talking about podium guys, though, let's talk about one more glaring thing. Return of the Stewarts to racing.
I mean, he raced Mookie, he did really well, and his stamina's not there.
He did what I thought he was going to do, which was somewhere between 10th and 15th place, because he has some natural ability there that I thought was good. The bike obviously is decent. Pike's right up in the top 5, so they have that together. But
did you like that? I don't know if you saw that text though when they were doing the little segment with him in the heat race and saying, yeah, you know, decided to come back and race 2 races, and I go, no, JGR lets you race 2 races.
Yeah.
Which now, what it sounds like that Bogle, his concussion situation is a little bit worse than they thought. I imagine that Malcolm is probably going to extend that 2-race deal to a couple more.
Yeah, I would say he's probably going to get 4 or 5 out of the deal here.
Well, and if Bogle keeps having issues, though, maybe he just stays on it for the whole entire year. I don't know.
Yep. So, yeah, but he wasn't like wild out there, but he did pretty much what I thought he was going to.
How about Brayton, though, before we get to the podium, since we're kind of doing honorable mention? There you go again with that.
I know, dude.
Matt's going to get in your crap.
No, totally.
Honorable mention to Justin Brayton, 7th and a 6th, and all signs trend to a top 5 here pretty soon.
He's working his way up.
And we said top 10 at the in the previous show, but I definitely didn't think he would do this good this quickly.
Yeah, well, like he said, I heard it on Pulp before he, or before the season started. He said, last year I went to Australia, raced that series, did absolutely nothing other than just race the series. This year, I had a practice track down there, practice bike, came back, went to California, been out there training, working on stuff, testing with the team. So,
does he continue to keep this up? Do you think he does?
I think, yeah, for right now. Because it's like we always talk about, it's like what J-Mart's doing right now. Like, he got himself ready for the season by racing.
Yep.
As opposed to getting yourself ready by being at the test track by yourself, racing the stopwatch. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I think he continues to trend upward. It would not shock me at all to see top 5s out of him.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. I really like Brayton. I love watching him ride. He's been doing this for a long time. And he has no bones about telling people he's a Supercross guy. He doesn't like riding outdoors anymore at his age. He'd rather spend a summer with his family. And it's good to see guys that have been working their butt off for a long time do this well.
Yep.
And a team that, let's be honest, is kind of been the budding joke for a while.
Yep.
So it's good to see him do this well.
Yep. So now we'll get into the podium here. So Barcia, 3rd again.
What do you think, man?
I told you last night,
and
I told you today, my confidence is going up. My respect for my confidence and respect was way down here. Before the season.
Rightfully so.
Now my confidence is here, but my respect is up here.
He's a lot more mature now.
Because you watch him, and last year when guys would pass him, he would go straight for him next corner, no doubt. Last night, nope.
No, his ego.
He'd get passed, and if there was an opportunity, he would go for a block pass. But if there wasn't,
and the block pass that he did actually stuck, and it got him back in 3rd.
Yeah, and it was fine.
And he took advantage of Cole when they were in lappers. Cole got bunched up, and Justin saw an opening, and he made it work.
Yep.
And he didn't even take him out.
No, it was great. It was great. So, like I said, respect is definitely up higher than confidence. But as he keeps producing these results, the confidence is going to grow. What I tell you, I don't have to rewrap or repaint my helmet this year because I have a Barcia edition shoey. And last year was almost embarrassing lining up with it because it's like, God, this kid is just a huge, oh, God. But now I can actually wear it with some pride.
And now that he's basically rode this good for 2 weeks in a row, and other than maybe 2 times, and that track was easy for people to come up and bite you, if you were off just a tick, so I don't attribute that to Barcia's style, even though it's still the same. He's just more matured and relaxed. This is 2 weeks in a row now where he's been good the whole entire day. Yeah, his qualifying time wasn't as good as A1, but he was still in the top 10. Yep. Everybody was close, but he was good the whole entire day. And this is not a flash in the pan where he did really good, like I said, at A1, and then maybe he got lucky last night and stuff. Like, he's been good from every non-seeded or non-time practice, heat race main.
Yep.
And it's just going to continue to grow, and he's tied with Kenny for 2nd in the points. I mean, dude. And
I never would have believed you had you told me that at the beginning of the year.
And let's be real with how the season's going. Like, I'm not predicting this because I'm just happy that he's finally doing well again. But it wouldn't shock me that if we get to round 7 and you say Justin Barcia's the points leader, because look how crazy the season is going so far. And he just continues to get 3rd.
6 minutes into the main last night, I thought Kenny was going to win the 2nd race of the year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it wouldn't shock me at all. Any of the top 3 from last night, nothing would shock me at this point.
Because I'll tell you this right now, if he gets in a situation where he gets a start and one of those guys is in like 5th or 6th, they're not going to catch him. If he's in, and I know that Kenny and Ando finally looks like his starts were a little off last night and stuff, but they weren't as bad as years past. If their starts are off a little bit as good as Barcia's riding, if Kenny gets 5th off the line and Ando's 7th and Barcia's got a lead, they're not catching him, and nobody else is going to catch Barcia either. Like, because right now with Marv and Eli with where they are, it's Ando, Kenny, Barcia, and then like Celia and Pike are like here. So if any of those guys are behind Barcia, they're not going to catch him. So it wouldn't shock me if we get to round 7 and you say Barcia's your points leader.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me either. So, yeah, like, I I don't have anything else to say. He rode good, and we'll just have to see how long this train keeps running.
Yep.
So, Kenny last night, thought he rode great. Looked a lot more confident, a lot more swag, but he still has that humility about him, because like I saw him after the main, went up, fucking fist bumped Ando, like whispered said something to him.
There might be something there.
There might be something there.
There might be something
You've heard
there.
some rumblings. They're training together.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Maybe.
That's interesting. That would be wouldn't surprise me. You know, with the rumblings we've heard.
But in Anderson's eyes, there's nothing wrong with the Baker camp, and there's no issue.
For this year.
Right.
Let's get to next.
Let's not get into that though.
Next year.
We're just trying to put something in you guys' ear.
But anyway, but Kenny, I thought he rode great last night. Like I said, 6 minutes into the main, I'm literally sitting here going, there's no way Kenny's going to win the second race back, right?
Yeah, no.
And then he was just, I would love to know what the mistake was. This is one of the things where it sucks that we're not there, because I would love to know what the mistake he made was as to where Ando caught him, because you're not going to be 5 seconds out for the first 6 to 8 minutes, whatever it was, and then all of a sudden in a lap you lose 4 seconds. Like,
I think he probably either got loose in the whoops or he just buried it in the sand section. Yeah, that's about the only two places.
Did something weird.
He just stiffened up though by the end of the day. Like, I know they did a little thing where they followed him around for A1 and he was talking about, which is odd because it wasn't even the arm that he broke. He said his right arm was pumping up.
It makes sense to me because if this arm isn't as strong, he's overcompensating. So
I think he just stiffened up, and I said that to Bane. I said that I don't think Kenny has 20+1, and I still don't think he's going to get a win until we get to round 4 or 5, which is like right around the corner. But I mean, I was saying the same thing. You got to start, and I'm like, well, okay, where's Ando at?
If he pulls a start at A2 here in the first one, I mean, it's only 8 minutes plus. He led for over 8 minutes last night.
True. That's true.
He could win one of these.
But I'm thinking the same thing as you. I'm watching and I'm like, okay, I'm looking. Okay, where's Ando? And I'm watching Barsha and I go, he's gonna kind of settle in and mark him. But I'm like, there's no way Kenny's gonna win the second race. Back. There's no way. And then we keep getting in, and we get 10, 12 minutes in, and I go, oh my God, like, are you kidding me right now?
And then it was down. And then all of a sudden you could see Ando, and I was like, oh, yep, here we go.
Oh yeah, he was coming. He was coming to the pack like RV was. You were like, you knew it was gonna happen. It was just when it was gonna happen.
Yep. So, and then I mean, we can talk about Ando right now too. He rode great all day. He was there to win yesterday.
He was fast.
Yeah, I
like that's all he was fast.
And everybody was saying it from Daniel Blair and who's the guy that does
Jim Holly.
Jim Holly during the day to get at night with Emick and Ralph. Everybody was saying all day.
Where everybody looked like when the track started breaking down that maybe they were second guessing their line choice or maybe their technique. Ando just basically went with it, had his loose style, and he trusted his bike and his technique, and he knew that if that bike got loose, he was going to bring it back around. He was the only guy all day that looked like confidence every lap.
Yep.
Where some of the times, they got timid, a little bit loose, they rolled it off and stuff. Ando just looked great, and man, who would have said Jason Anderson's your points leader after 2 rounds?
I know, right?
And dude, if he continues to keep doing this, like obviously Kenny's going to get better, whatever happens with Barsha and stuff, but with Eli and Marv being a question mark, dude, Jason Anderson can win this damn title.
Dude, here's the thing though. I think that red plate's going to go on a lot of different bikes this year.
How many do you think? Not knowing what happened, because Eli and Marv, let's just say that it's not going to happen for them.
Well, it's already going to be on 2. So I think, because it was on Marv's, now it's going to be on Anderson's. I think you're going to
be on Kenny's at some point.
I think you're going to see at least 4, maybe depending upon if something else wild happens, 4 to 5 bikes that red plate's going to bounce around in Supercross in the 450 class.
I say it sees Ando, Barsha, Kenny, and man, as crazy as it is to say, but because of the way the season's going and because of where he is, and even though he's a little bit further back, if for whatever reason Anderson and Kenny have the same issues Marv and Eli do, I could see it being on Pike at some point this season.
Yeah.
Because, dude, if you continue to keep getting top 5s and then get a couple podiums, I know that that's more of a stretch than any other ones, but if you continue to be in the top 5 every race, eventually that consistency is going to pay off. We've seen it with Dungey. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be the points leader for sure, but this season's already been crazy. God forbid, something could happen to Anderson next week. Something could happen to Kenny in practice. Something could happen to any one of these guys, and I think this is going to be a war of attrition this year. You've got to be able to make it through.
Yep.
And I think that if we see the same guys in the top 5 this weekend at A2, especially as crazy as it's going to be, I think it's pretty safe to say that those are going to be your top 5 guys all season long. I know we don't really know. I think there's something wrong with Baggett. I don't know what the hell's going on with him. I don't know if his thumb's more of an issue. It's not healing properly, which is crazy because you think all the months off he had, it would be fine. Whatever's going on with Coop, we have no idea. You know, I think that if those are the top 5 again this coming weekend, I think that's going to be the top 5 pretty much. Those are going to be the guys that are going to be the... Because, dude, look how big of a gap it was from Pike to Brayton.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, Ando to Kenny, Kenny to Barsha, Barsha to Cole after Barsha got around him, and then West to close the gap on Cole, but then the gap back to Brayton and Baggett. Like, we know how this class goes when you get a few rounds in. Everybody's like, oh, the craziness and stuff. But when you get 3-4 rounds in and the same thing has been happening... Yeah. Now, say Anderson would have won this weekend and Kenny got 5th and Barsha got 8th and Pike crashed and Cole got 6th. Then I could say, okay, yeah, those are... But those have been the top 5 guys 2 weekends in a row right now. Just move everybody up one spot because of Marv and Eli. So, man, what we thought was going to be a wild season between a bunch of different people getting in there with Baggett and Coop and all these different guys, maybe it won't be. Maybe it's just going to be those 5 guys pretty much the whole entire year. Because they've been better than everybody else. I mean, dude...
I'm not gonna argue the point with you.
I'm just shocked.
At this point, yeah.
I'm just shocked.
Yep. So, okay, so picks for 450 winners for the Triple Crown for the three different mains at Anaheim. What are your picks?
Man, this is hard, but I think Barsha's going to win the first one. I just feel that the way this is going, I think he's going to get a start, and I think he's going to win the first one. It's an abbreviated one, and can't you just see Barsha just going for broke, just be like, hey, I want to make.
Yeah, sure.
I can see him getting the first one. I think Anderson's going to get the last one, but the second one is really hard for me because I want to say Kenny, and I want to agree with what you said because I want to see him get a win, but part of me just thinks that it's not going to come this soon. So I will go ahead and say I think that it's going to be Seeley. I think Seeley's going to get the second one. Now, whether Kenny gets second in every one of those races is a different story, but it's hard for me to fathom that Kenny, after being off for almost a full year, that gnarly of an injury, gets a win this quickly. Because I didn't think he would be on it. I mean, he's second in the points, but I'm going to have to go Barsha, Seeley, and Ando keeps the red plate.
Okay.
What do you think?
See, I think Kenny's going to win the first one. I think Kenny's going to get a start, because if you watched last night, his starts were way better than A1. So his confidence is back to where he can actually get in there and bump around.
Yep.
So he'll go for it. So I think Kenny's going to win the first one, and... I think Anderson's going to win the second too.
Really?
He's going to keep it going, yeah.
Wow.
I think Barsha's going to be right there in all of them at this point, unless we see something crazy this week. But yeah, I think, and I think even in the first one, you could see someone like Pike get on the box.
So my question is that if you think Kenny wins the first one, but Ando wins the next 2, and keeping this trend going of Barsha, that means Ando's obviously going to have the red plate. Does Kenny come away with second, or does Barsha come away with second? Because does Kenny go fluctuate? Does he go win the first main by a lot? Well, not a lot, because it's only 8 or 9 laps. But, like, does he go win the first one and then get a bad start in the second one, and Barsha just gets third again?
No, I don't think he gets a bad start. I think he's right up there the whole time. I think the first one's going to be the most interesting. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
That short one is going to be the most interesting one because it's not quite a heat race, so there is time for guys to fade, but it's nowhere near main.
I do agree, though. I think Anderson's going to lead with the red plate, and I think that Barsha and Roxon are going to be like 2 points ahead of each other. 2 points difference again.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy, man. Like, I couldn't have thought this is how the season was going to go so far.
No way.
And if the same guys, like I said, I'll say it again, if the same guys are in the top 5 this weekend, I think that's pretty much your top 5 for the year.
Yeah.
It's just going to fluctuate.
Yeah. I think so too. So, anything else before 50s before we wrap this up?
Not really.
No? Okay. All right. So, this has been another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show presented by TLR Coatings. Don't forget, we do new episodes every Tuesday. Now, starting next week, obviously, I'm going to be out of town because I'm going to be in Anaheim. Man Bear here isn't going with me. So, he is going to Skype call us, and we're going to do it that way. So, this could be interesting. Don't forget,
gonna break up the whole entire time.
Probably it's gonna be awful. But anyway, so don't forget, Amazon links in the description help us out. Patreon links if you can, throw some money on there. If not, no hard feelings. Go buy a t-shirt, support the cause, wear the t-shirt to the race so people know. That's what I'll be doing.
Talk to him about Joey Savachi.
Ask me about the Savachi. I need a t-shirt made about that, man. I need a Savachi.
There was a guy before the GP in Florida that said he was gonna have one made.
That would be great.
I don't know who it was, but he said he was going to have one made.
That would be great. And yeah, if you guys are at Anaheim or Phoenix, I will be at both those all day.
Bother the hell out of them.
Yeah, stop me, say what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bench race with anybody. Heck, I had somebody on Facebook last night, Zach, whatever your name is. A little shout out to you. Sorry, I can't remember your last name.
Zach, whatever your name is.
Zach, whatever your name is. Yeah, you know, you were texting me last night, so that was cool doing a little bench racing with him, and that was also cool. I will be texting you for updates through the TV program because I totally don't get to watch the TV program, so I'm down there. And that was cool last night because he was asking about Marv actually when I was texting him, and I was like, yeah, dude, his shoulder's out, so he's done. And he was like, oh, because you don't always get that information at the races. So.
No, they don't just announce that over the PA.
Yeah, and don't forget, oh, dude, if you play RM Fantasy, we have a group. It's Moto Aftermath Show. Mm-hmm. Search it. If you don't have your 3 groups already, join our group.
Try and beat us.
Try and beat us.
Nobody is. It's just it's him and me.
I am winning.
Yeah, by 7 points. Get over it.
Wait till this weekend.
Wait till this
7 points there.
Wait till this weekend, and neither of us are going to be 1 and 2 probably.
I mean, I say when we get 0 points, it's gonna suck. So, anyway, this has been another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show. We will see everybody next week after Anaheim 2.
Yeah, I forgot. I couldn't remember the name of the group.
Yeah.
So I'd be in second in that one too.
I wonder where I'm at in the Diffie group here. Hold on a second. Let's check one more here.
Dude, my fantasy for Pulp, fucking, oh, dude, it was terrible.
It was awful.
Well, no, a lot of my picks, because they got in, had huge handicaps. The only problem was Marquier didn't make it in.
I
and
went
fucking
from like 45th to 5th.
In that group?
In the Diffie Smooth group. I don't know how many people are in this group.
Go enter the D14 group. That's Cole's group with me.
I
Cole.
can't. I'm in 3.
Oh, you're already in 3?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
in Diffie's, the one with the other dudes.
I gotta enter the slow vet rider ones. But yeah, dude, my Pulp got fucked up because a lot of the guys I picked, like I had Entignap, Sealy, and Cunningham. Fucking Bishelia, whatever his issue was, and didn't line up for the LCQ, fucked me. And then in the 250s, I had Oldenburg, Surratt, Marquier didn't make it in, and then Martin Castillo. So Marquier and Cunningham, or Bishelia not getting in really fucked me.
All right, let's do this. C1, take 1, 3, 2, 1, and...
Teds! 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 Teds.